As you can see, it's a much nicer evening than last night was. I am in North Platte, Nebraska this evening. I started off in Liberal, Kansas, where I started the day off visiting the Mid-American Aviation Museum. Their focus is on light aircraft, and they have a great collection, including a bunch of unique home-built aircraft. They do have a few military aircraft, including quite a few from the Vietnam era. And it's just amazing to me anytime I see some of those, how huge they were. They did a little bit of telling the story of how the airport got started there. Like many airports and communities across the country, it got started as a military base in World War II. And I thought they could have spent more time on that, because that's one of the miracles that helped us win the war, was the fact that the United States literally built hundreds of aviation training centers all across the country. The focus of the one at Liberal was training B-24 pilots, in fact, B-24 command pilots. And I think they could have told that story more. I also think they need a B-24, since that's what the whole reason for the base was. I'd planned on going to 3 other museums today, but 2 of them were closed when I got there, and one of them I couldn't find. Evidently, I drove by it, and by the time I realized that, I wasn't turning around to go back. I stopped at a couple of outdoor attractions along the way. One of them was the battle site in the last battle between Native Americans and the cavalry in Kansas. A group of Native Americans were homesick for the plains, so they abandoned their reservation in Oklahoma and were trying to go back home. And they were attacked at it's called Punish Woman's Creek. And the tribe was camped up inside this canyon. They were attacked, but they were able to beat off the cavalry and make their escape for a few more weeks. The other thing I stopped at was Monument Rocks. Out of the middle of nowhere in the Kansas prairie, there are these large rock structures that just pop up. Just really weird. About 8 miles off the highway, but well worth the trip out there. I will definitely be posting photos of those. Speaking of terrain, Kansas is not nearly as flat as I thought it was. You'll be driving along rolling prairie where you can see forever, and you'll crest a hill, and all of a sudden you can see forever times 3. Or you crest a hill and you're in Badlands with steep ravines and route outcroppings and caves, very rough terrain. And then it goes right back to the smooth rolling plains. Nebraska is a little bit different. It's much hillier, but about 50 miles into the state, the hills start having hills, which is a really weird effect. It looks like the land is rippled as you're driving along. Tonight, here in North Platte, in the morning, I'm doing railroad museums and heading up to South Dakota.